love you.
Love you too, baby.
I like watching these shows with you.
Yeah, it's fun, huh? See if we can get it to work here.
Crystal's lifeless body inside this very garage.
Ew!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
So that was a police officer telling her to
And
stay out?
this is Daniel Krug, the man who killed her. He's heading in for another normal workday, just minutes after
Dude, these are crazy, man.
leaving his wife's lifeless body hidden in the garage of their own home.
Honey?
Oh shit. Holy.
Did you
For
hear
the
that?
last
I missed it. What happened?
That's his wife.
Oh my god.
He killed his wife.
This man has been engineering the most calculated homicide plot Colorado has ever seen, creating fake identities, manipulating Crystal's children,
That's crazy.
and setting up the perfect scapegoat to take the blame. He believes his plan is bulletproof, that police will spend weeks chasing a ghost and eventually arrest someone else for the murder he committed. And
Damn, you got a
despite
scapegoat and everything?
perfect detective
Sound
work,
familiar?
His plan works exactly
Latin. What do you mean?
the
Just
way
all
he
this stuff that
intended.
goes on with the government and whatnot.
Stalking her and threatening to kidnap her. Oh my god, this can't be.
I could go on with, you know, but I probably shouldn't in this time.
Let's go. I'm sorry, Henry.
Yeah, this
Very
is
good to meet you.
Interesting story you picked, hon.
What's going on?
Yes.
Right?
This is Crystal
I said
Krug.
interesting story you picked.
I know, I said right.
Oh.
Months before
thought you said
her
what?
murder, she was here with her husband, Daniel Krug, and their 3 children.
Oh,
Both
she's the one
Crystal
that
and
gets
her husband
murdered.
are well educated and seem to have built a comfortable life together with their kids. But behind closed doors, something dark is happening
My bad,
that
game.
will destroy this beautiful family. All because Crystal's been dealing with a stalker obsessed with her. She was here with her
Oh my gosh.
husband, Daniel,
There we go.
sending her
Jeez.
constant threats and claiming to watch her every move. This officer is here to check her car for GPS trackers or anything that could explain how this stalker keeps finding her. In reality, the stalker is much closer than anyone
It's her
could have
own hubby.
imagined.
You can see like it's a little bit dirty, so I can see blood marks, but
So this is her calling the police on what she thinks is a stalker, right? Before she gets murdered.
that's all the time. There's no one out there. Like I know they're normal cars.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he's following them from. I
Okay.
can only assume.
That's so sad.
So sad.
I know. Really bad. I'm hoping
It's so creepy.
It always
The
hits
officer
harder when you
continues
see
searching
them,
the vehicle top
like,
to bottom,
alive and
but finds nothing suspicious.
I don't
So
know.
before leaving,
beforehand, you know?
For sure. Yeah, as if like something different could have happened, you know?
he offers Crystal a few safety recommendations and reassures her that they'll keep looking into her case.
Jeez.
Not long in the course of the investigation, Broomfield police receive another call. This time from Crystal's husband, Daniel, reporting a break-in at his home. An officer is dispatched to check things out. Unknowingly, this encounter will be the start of one of the most calculated murders the United States has ever seen.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, definitely. I'm Austin Chauncey.
I'm Dan.
Nice to meet you.
Johnson, nice to meet you.
So as
Oh my gosh.
pulled in, I saw someone.
And then
run
seeing him
out,
in,
jump
like,
over my gate.
Okay.
and
I
take
don't
off
know, just
that way.
Got it.
the fakeness.
Straight up
Crazy.
lie.
My wife got home recently, and we realized
A weirdo,
the
dude.
spare key that we keep in the garage isn't there.
Okay.
According to Daniel, the only thing that's gone is their spare house key. If someone stole that, it means they aren't done and might have plans to come back at some point. The officer advises Daniel to change their locks immediately while police look into who this intruder might be. When no one
Dude, he gives like major Batman villain vibes.
Yeah.
Realizes tonight is that this is no random incident.
Or like
It's
Dr.
the
Jekyll,
opening
Mr.
move
Hyde.
Dr. Phil and Mr. Jekyll.
in a plan that's been
Dr.
forming
Phil
for
and Jerry
months.
Springer.
And this break-in is
It's
just
up for you to
step
decide
one.
who's a good guy.
Right? There you go.
9 days after Daniel reports the break-in, his wife Crystal wakes up to another uneasy morning. For weeks now, she's been receiving strange, anonymous messages and a growing sense that someone out there has an eye on her. Until now, none of it had a name attached, but a faceless presence that kept getting closer. But today, that changes. As Crystal gets the kids ready for school, makes her morning coffee, and heads out for work, her phone buzzes. She glances at the screen and sees a name she hasn't thought about in more than 20 years. Jack Anthony Holland, a man she dated briefly as a teenager. The message is short, crude, completely out of nowhere. Hi Crystal, it's Anthony.
What's up, Crystal?
Oh my gosh, so
It's a
he's
fake
using
guy.
like
Yeah.
he's using like her past people.
Mm-hmm.
Hope
I was
it's
like,
okay, I looked you up.
that's
I go
crazy.
to Boulder every
Plotting.
few weeks and thought we could hook up. You game? At first, she didn't think much
Totally
of it.
nuts.
The two last spoke years ago, and even then, he was harmless. So she ignores it and moves on. But the next day, everything changes. Are you
Was it
there?
actually
You should
him
say
2
yes
years
when I
ago,
offer
or
pity.
has this just
Whatever.
been going
I saw
on
your
for that long?
pics. You
I have
got
no idea.
fat. You should yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Saw you at the dentist today. Your license plate expired. Gotta fix that. Suddenly,
That's so creepy.
Crystal's fear becomes reality, and she begins living with the terrifying possibility that she's being watched. And now, she's certain Anthony is the one who's been harassing her for weeks.
This is
She becomes
crazy.
hypervigilant, installs cameras around the home, dash cams in her car, and starts carrying a concealed handgun everywhere she goes.
Correct play.
By
Yeah.
late October, Crystal's barely sleeping. She keeps a spreadsheet of her stalker log, documenting every message she gets.
That's crazy.
Then, almost a month later, a new email.
That sucks.
I know, she's like understandably paranoid
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, it's just like, holy
or like
shit.
vigilant, you know.
Yeah. Just the fact that she's literally having to
And then she
document
gets killed
every single
anyway.
little
This
thing.
is so sad. All that work, all that
from Anthony.
however long living in fear, you know.
Confirms her worst fears. This your
And
husband?
it's like the person
Drives like
closest
slow
to her.
old
This is
lady. He
crazy.
needs to drive safe.
This is probably one of the
email comes
craziest
with an
stories
attached
I've
photo
ever heard.
showing her husband Daniel at his workplace. Now the stalker isn't just targeting Crystal. He's coming after her family. Crystal realizes she can't handle this alone, so she hires a private investigator to track down Anthony's addresses and digital history. Then, on Halloween night, she calls the police.
So, how can I help you tonight? What's going on?
Yeah, so I have an ex from a very long time ago who has occasionally downed me on social media, and it's never been an issue. So this month, I have received numerous text messages, and then today I got an email that is very threatening, and it escalated to the point that he took a recent picture of my husband at his work location. So
Jeez.
the stalking is getting a little too...
Dude, it's like some Peter Parker shit. You know? How does he know Spider-Man
this
so
is
well?
Crazy.
aggressive at this point in time. So my last contact...
Green
I kind of
Goblin.
wish we didn't know it was the
Years ago.
husband
What do you mean?
because we already know it was the husband, so we know like all of this is him,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it crazier. But it would have been cool like not knowing and then it being a whole plot twist, you know.
I feel you.
But now we're like, oh man. So he literally set up his phone, took a picture of himself somehow.
Yeah. Or he's got another guy involved. Or like he was just like, hey, take a picture of me real quick, and then, you know, just lied about what it was for.
Yeah, either way. he,
Either way, it's
like,
crazy.
had somebody take a picture or, you know, figured out a way to do it himself and sent it to her. Yeah, this is
Very
insane.
calculated and crazy.
where I told
Psycho.
He's even calling the police on himself, you know?
He kept contacting me.
It's crazy.
He kind of blew things up and then blocked me. I blocked him. Haven't heard from him since.
After explaining everything to the officer, she documents each detail and forwards the case to the department's investigative unit. Within hours, the file lands on the desk of Detective Andrew Martinez, a seasoned investigator who's worked some of Broomfield's toughest cases, including abductions and violent crime.
Look at all that. Look at all that.
Martinez schedules a formal meeting with Crystal for the following week, hoping to get a clearer picture of what exactly is happening and who this Anthony really is. When she sits down with Martinez, the situation has already escalated far beyond what Crystal first reported.
So, I mean, like, he saw, like, full pictures of my family, of my kids. Like, I locked down my protocol real fast after this, because it was pretty alarming, right? Where he's like, we're meant to be together, and my family loves that we're talking. And I'm like, whoa, you think that we're, like, in a relationship? So I shut it down real hard. I said, this is really creepy for me. You need to stop. And he got, like, real emotional, and then blocked me. I'm like, good.
What is this? Is she talking about the Anthony guy?
Yeah.
And I blocked him, and and then I shut down Facebook entirely. The one development that I have, I did get the full-blown report from the PI. Probably, you'll see this in this report.
Who she thinks is her stalker.
There are tons
Right.
of phone numbers associated with him. There are tons of addresses. He moves everywhere and between like 3 different states.
As
Oh my
Crystal walks the
gosh.
detective through her evidence, 2 details immediately stand out. First, her stalker isn't just texting her from random numbers. He's using multiple phone lines and different digital identities, finding ways to reach her even after she changes her information. Whoever this is, they're persistent,
How does she
resourceful,
not
and
see any
frighteningly
signs in her
determined.
husband?
Second, her ex...
Dude, it's one of those things. It's like hidden in plain sight, you know.
Right, and she obviously like trusts him enough to not check his phone or his computer or anything, because unless he like hides it really well, but
I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. I think another part of it is like you wouldn't even think to look, you know.
right, exactly.
It's crazy.
But in general, I feel like people tend to check their spouses' devices, like especially
Yeah.
nowadays. It's
I don't know. I can see it going either way.
encouraged, you know.
I can see it going either way, but for sure.
Boyfriend Anthony Holland is tied to several addresses and multiple phone numbers. Whether it's instability or an attempt to stay off the grid, it convinces Martinez that Crystal is dealing with someone who either doesn't want to be found or someone who's planning something far worse. With
Ba, ba,
all this in
ba.
mind,
And I'm
Martinez-
sure she's like mentioned all of this to her husband, unless they just don't have that relationship. Who knows?
Oh, for sure.
But I'm gonna assume that she did, and like
for sure,
he
she
must have like the utmost, like the greatest acting skills. You know what I mean?
did. Yeah.
Or
yeah.
she's just really oblivious. I don't know.
I think it's both. I think it's like I don't know. I think it's one like again, it's like if you're not looking for it, right? It's just going to be hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet too he's probably being slick about it. I mean, he's gone to all these you know, crazy extents just to get her to like just to change numbers on her and come from different states and just
Yeah,
to
even
get her to
calling
perceive it
the-
a certain way.
the police on himself, you know,
Right. Crazy.
and like lying to them and.
wraps the interview with Crystal
Right.
and
This is
begins the
crazy.
digital side of the investigation. He sends warrants to service providers requesting phone records, email logs, and account information to track down the stalker. Unfortunately for Martinez, these companies will make a mistake that will soon prove deadly. While waiting for the digital evidence to come back, Martinez decides to follow up on something else. The garage break-in Daniel reported back in September when a stranger supposedly stole their spare house key. He brings Daniel in for a formal interview, wanting to know whether he's noticed...
Dude, I would immediately change all the locks. That's such a weird thing. Well, they stole our house key. Uh-oh. Maybe somebody will come in. It's like, no.
Right.
You changed the lock like yesterday. You know?
Following him, but instead of clarifying things, Martinez is about to learn something far more
Crazy.
unsettling about the Krug household. But before we get to that, 2025 is almost over, and we're falling into the same trap again, waiting for January 1st to start something new or learn a new skill.
Yeah.
build AI job biz, even
I want to use AI to make my life harder.
weekly revenue models personalized. With that said, let's get back to Daniel's interview.
All right.
The detective is about to learn something troubling about the couple's marriage.
And I guess at what point did she tell you that he recontacted her this last time?
It's either November 1st or November 2nd.
And then having to keep all the details straight. This is crazy.
Yeah, right. Psychopath, man.
A picture of me at work. She brought me up to speed on that.
Gotcha, okay. And the first contact that he initially made with her was back on October 2nd. I guess why that month gap, do you think, before she told you?
You could kind of see that he's lying here. Like, now that we know.
She and I are going through a rough patch.
Yeah, again, it's like once you're looking for it, you know?
Yeah.
Rocks. So probably didn't seem that pressing until it was.
Sure. And she didn't mention that to me. You guys were having a rough time currently. Are you guys in the process of separating, getting divorced, or working through things?
To be determined. My brother Matthew is a cop, so I have a retractable ass steel baton. As I said, not right now, but otherwise, it's on me all the time. I sleep with it next to me. I bought some additional security cameras for the house. So what am I doing? I'm panicking, and I'm doing a shit job protecting my wife.
Oh my gosh.
Why do that?
He's crying?
So, with that being,
This is
you
crazy.
know, we put her car on a lift on Tuesday afternoon.
I don't trust anybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I almost
my
don't. It's
God.
like, this doesn't even make sense. It's like, it's very believable what he's doing, you know what I mean?
I almost feel like he's like I
Like-
said, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, like actually he believes it himself.
Yeah.
To see if there's any sort of GPS
Crazy.
tracking or anything like that. We couldn't find anything on the car. If Anthony is
Maybe he's like going into a psychosis and doing all this as
from a distance or nearby or
not
whatever.
himself, and then
So
I don't know.
Yeah.
that poses an interesting issue in of itself.
From Daniel's reactions, it's clear the stalking is taking a toll on him too. His wife is terrified, his family feels haunted, and he's struggling to understand how any of this is happening. Detective Martinez wraps up the interview, but something Daniel said
like
lingers
Norman
in the back of
Bates.
his mind.
Right.
He revealed that he didn't know about the stalking for almost a month. Not until Crystal finally showed him the email with the photo taken outside his workplace. So Martinez decides to look deeper into the family dynamic, and what he finds is concerning. He learns that the couple have been going through a rough patch recently. Nothing hostile or dangerous, but they were trying to work things out, doing what they believed was best for their kids, and holding their family together the best they could.
Ruh-roh.
How much the stalker seems to know about their lives, Martinez briefly wonders if someone inside the home might be manipulating the situation, and for a moment, he even considers the possibility that Daniel might be messing with his wife as some twisted way of trying to fix their marriage. But that idea is quickly dismissed. There is no evidence backing any of it, and all signs still point to Anthony. Not to mention, Crystal herself is fully convinced her ex is behind the stalking campaign. Throughout November, the harassment continues to escalate with more messages and threats. Crystal continues documenting everything and constantly monitors her cameras. By early December, she finally receives a message that gives her the smallest breath of air. Hey gorgeous, I can't visit you anymore. No more Colorado time. My girlfriend doesn't want us talking without her. She says you'll let the cops get me after you get rid of him. For the first time in weeks, Crystal and her family feel a
Wait, what?
brief sense of
So,
relief.
is it saying that basically the stalker was like, alright, I can't see you anymore? My girlfriend's getting mad or something? Is that what it said?
Yeah, it was kind of confusing, but basically.
Okay.
It sounds like Anthony is backing off, maybe even leaving the state. But in reality, this is just the
There's the
stalker's
messages
final
again.
move to make them drop their guard before he strikes. day starts like
Psycho.
every other day. Daniel leaves for work while Crystal heads out to drop the kids off at school. During those minutes, someone approaches the front door, tapes over the Ring doorbell camera, and slips inside the house. Minutes
What?
later, Crystal drives back home, pulls into the garage,
How do you-
and steps out of the car. She has
I mean, I guess
no
you would know
idea
the blind
that someone
spots,
is
right?
waiting for her inside, and the moment she closes the car door, he attacks. The stalker strikes Crystal in the head, stabs her, and leaves her bleeding.
Oh my god.
After months of plotting, this is the moment he'd been waiting for. Later that morning, Daniel tries calling Crystal from his office, but she doesn't answer or respond to texts. Hours pass, and there's still no sign of her, so Daniel finally decides to call police.
Hi there. My name is Dan Krug. I don't think this is an emergency, but this feels really weird. My wife isn't responding to text messages or phone calls. We've had threats against us. We have both been targeted by a stalker. Threats have been made against my life, and threatening to like kidnap her, which is why I'm nervous that she's not answering.
Within minutes of Daniel's call, an officer is dispatched to the Krug residence to check on Crystal. At the same time,
That's so crazy the way he plotted that whole entire
Yeah,
thing.
this is insane.
It's
her
fucking
to go check on her
freaky.
daughter, sending her straight into the worst moment of her life.
Oh my gosh, and then he would send her. Oh my god.
That's evil. That's evil.
First.
Like actually evil.
I was just on their neighbor and they called her.
Oh yeah, you sent us as well, so. Just next door?
Sent everybody who cares about her over there.
Alright, man, appreciate it.
This is crazy. This makes me sick to my stomach.
The house looks quiet, and the officer doesn't notice anything wrong from the outside. But before he clears the call and drives off, something nags at him. So he brings his patrol car a little closer to check the garage, where he's about to uncover a tragic, horrifying sight.
What nagged at him? I'm curious. Like, looked like he was about to leave and then changed his mind.
Gut feeling, who knows? Good question.
Huh?
I said this is a good question.
As the officer leans
he's
in
smart.
for a closer look,
Look at
he
him.
spots a body lying on the
Using his
floor,
car to look through the
motionless,
windows.
with blood smeared across the wall.
Wow, look at him.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Smart.
really smart, yeah.
151 Cent Medical and 110 84 Century. I got a female down in the garage. Brookfield Police! Brookfield Police!
Oh shit. Holy shit.
The officer steps into the garage to find Crystal with what looks like a severe head injury, so he immediately begins performing CPR, working on her for several moments with no success before opening the garage door to give medics access. But instead of paramedics, someone else soon arrives.
Oh
Garage is open now.
no. Oh no.
Hello, ma'am. I need you to stay out, please.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
I don't want to watch this shit, man. This shit is fucked up.
As the garage door is lifted to get medics in, Crystal's mother catches a brief glimpse inside, just long enough to see an officer performing CPR on her daughter. Before she can process what she's seeing, another officer quickly arrives to shield her from this nightmare.
Hey, I need you to come over here for a minute, okay? So we can work. I understand. I need you to come on over here, okay? I know. Do me a favor, go and sit inside so we can work on her, okay? So we can try to get her
Aw.
out. Okay, what's your name? Linda. Linda? Okay. My name's Officer Zamora. Okay. I'll come out here and I'll give you some news as soon as I can. Awesome. I have no idea just yet, but I know that they're working on her. The officer in there has been working CPR on her. And I think she's doing okay, okay? He did. He's the one that called us and let us know, okay? Go ahead, take a seat for a minute. I'll be right back here, okay?
Aww.
Check out, man. She had a head wound. I don't know if it's from falling or something else, but probably falling, but I don't know, man. It's a good one. Husband said there was a stalker threatening to kidnap her, so I don't know.
Man, CPR is not easy.
Decent head wound.
Woo! Crazy, man.
While medics continue working on Crystal inside the garage, an officer stands outside reassuring a distressed woman who's just arrived, unaware that this is Crystal's mother. She's shaken and terrified by the horrors she witnessed inside the garage. Linda would later learn that none of this was random, and finding her daughter like this was always part of a twisted plan. Back inside the garage, medics keep working, still trying to revive Crystal, not yet aware of the fatal wound hidden beneath her clothing.
You know what's random? The dude narrating, there's a doctor that does narration. I wonder if this is his like faceless channel. It sounds just like him. It's tripping me out.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Small type of wound? Gas on chest. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a stop.
Oh. Remember, because their initial reaction was like them seeing the head injury, thinking that she fell.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just seeing the chest wound.
The dispatch could tell us the husband called in to check on her. I don't know right now, but dispatch should have it.
So we have a visible stab wound, you guys?
Yes.
Right above her heart. Okay, then let's journey systolic. Yes.
Even them, they're like,
Journey, are you good with this, or do you...
shit and
Not leasing this is wrong.
fuck. Like, they're like,
Husband said
oh my
he couldn't
gosh.
reach her for transport. We don't know if it's within 10 minutes, man. Okay, yeah.
Husband has not been able to reach her by any means for a few hours. Stab wound, she has let Henry know that.
Medics work for only a few minutes before realizing there's nothing more they can do. Beside Crystal's body, tucked inside her purse, the officer notices a handgun she never even had time to reach for. With the immediate area secure, officers spread out throughout the house, searching every room for the attacker, but no one is inside. And as officers step outside the home, they start noticing small details that don't line up with an impulsive crime.
Yeah, I don't know the backstory. Husband said there was a dude who's been stalking her and threatened to kidnap her. And Martinez was involved, and Martinez just said, hey, this is your big old... I don't know, dude. I don't know the history on that part. Martinez does, though. He said he's coming in. So, other than that, we're just kind of scared of the scene and waiting for detectives, you know? See what they need. I catch that, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. That is very interesting. Almost like dude might have stuck around from this way and...
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if maybe the door was unlocked, that's how we got in.
You know what, dude? You know what? I don't know. I kicked it and it went pretty easy. So I'm gonna say no deadbolt.
It wasn't deadbolted, it was just handle was locked.
I saw her came around, booted it.
Officers
Oh,
quickly
right, because he
confirm
kicked in the door. Officer.
Was unlocked,
To check
and
on
a
her.
strip of blue tape had been placed over the Ring doorbell camera. Whoever did this clearly planned it and came prepared. As police continue searching the scene, more family members begin arriving one by one, each of them unknowingly walking into the worst moment of their lives, while officers prepare to deliver the news no family ever wants to hear.
I don't know anything just yet, ma'am. I don't know anything just yet. Are you...
She's a family friend.
Family friend?
Family friend from because we house her.
I know they can't say shit, but I wish somebody would let moms know what's going on. You know what I mean? It's like she's sitting there wondering, like...
Yeah.
Oy. It's fucked up.
Husband almost here.
I think they want to tell them all at once.
We want to give you guys all the information all together.
Yahtzee.
We don't want to have to repeat the information over and over for you guys to continue anything, so.
He said he was on. What happened? What did we do to her? They won't say. They won't say. I'm trying to figure it out. Oh my gosh.
She knows.
Yeah.
She could tell. Poor thing.
Absolutely. As soon as someone frees up, we could tell you. I'll send him your way, okay?
Our son's on his way.
Is this your daughter, sir, or your daughter-in-law?
That's my daughter.
It's your daughter, and so her brother's on his way.
With Crystal's father and brother now at the scene, the weight of what's happened settles over the family, and it grows heavier by the minute. The only person missing is Crystal's husband, Daniel, the man who feared he wouldn't be able to protect her for weeks. Now he's on his way to find out those fears have come true. As they wait for him, detectives arrive at the scene and begin coordinating their next steps to hunt down whoever did this. Little do they know, the killer they're looking for is still in the area, much closer than they think.
So I pulled my car around the garage just to see if her car was in the garage. And I immediately saw her at the base of the stairs. Blood smear on the wall. And I came around and booted the front door. It turns out it wasn't locked. There's also a piece of masking tape over the ring camera. Almost like somebody approached from the side, taped it. And then maybe she opened the door for somebody. First thing I noticed was an obvious hit wound. They noticed after tearing the shirt and everything off, that it stabbed right there. So that's what we got. Husband should be here any minute.
Okay, so I need another detective up here to start working with canvassing. I need you to stay here, and Martinez is coming here, so he'll be good with that. I want you and Martinez to work on this. I want to give. And then
Working on this 5 foot.
yeah. But here's the thing. Well, we got to be careful. We have to be careful. We don't know. Anybody that's here is still suspect, so we need to be sure that we stay focused on that.
As investigators discuss plans to interview Crystal's family and her husband Daniel, he arrives on scene, cutting the conversation short. And right away, he makes it clear
Wow,
to
look at
everyone
him.
that he's nothing more than a devastated victim, overwhelmed by what's happened to his wife.
Okay, I need you to stay back, sir. I understand. I need you to stay back here. Family's over here. Family's over here.
This is. Oh my god. This is crazy. I don't trust anyone. Honey, you're smart. Please don't ever do this to me.
Hell no.
I'm just kidding. I know you would. I know you want
I don't got
it.
the stomach for that shit. That's crazy, dude. It seems kind of fake, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Now that we know, but in the
Right?
moment, like with all this
At
commotion
time,
going on, I don't
officers
think they
have
would
no reason
pinpoint
to
it. You know.
suspect Daniel of anything, so they treat him with care as he goes through this traumatic moment. But beneath that devastation lies a cold, heartless man. Because Daniel knows exactly what happened inside that garage, and Daniel is the killer himself. Every
He acted
tear,
too quickly
shaking
to it.
breath
Right? Yeah, it's like he
part of
knew
his
already.
act. One he will continue selling to police and Crystal's family, standing just a few feet away.
Oh my gosh, Norman Bates.
We don't tell. This is a family. just wanted to read
As this tragedy unfolds, Crystal's mother embraces Daniel, trying to comfort him, having no idea the man she's holding is the one who murdered her daughter.
Dude, and then having her mom like comfort him is
yeah.
crazy. Like,
And
what
the fact that
fuck?
everyone who cares about her showed up to see it. Like, how evil.
Inside the home, a detective is sent to the school to pick up Crystal's children.
Because he
who
called
still
all of
have
these
no
people. He
idea
called her
what
mom,
happened
he
to
called
their
the
mother.
neighbor.
When the
Right.
detective finds
Knowing that
Crystal's
they would show
eldest
up,
daughter,
knowing that they
she's
would
already
contact
shaken.
other
She's
family
been
members.
watching the live camera feed on her phone and saw enough to know something terrible happened. But what she tells the detective next is what truly alarms her. Her mother's stalker has been hinting at something far darker recently, and he might have deadly plans for the rest of the family.
My phone notified me on my house cameras going off. There's police at my house and an ambulance, and there's a stretcher. I couldn't bring myself to okay. So I called my mom and dad. My dad picks up and he's crying. They're probably about 7 minutes away, okay? I'm not gonna lie, something happened, okay? That's why you're here, okay? I do, but I can't. I'm not gonna tell you, okay? Because we're so actively investigating what's going on out there. So I don't want to give you wrong information. That's the last thing I want to do, okay? What's been going on at home? So this dude has been threatening my mom, stalking her, taking photos of her.
That's so insane. I can't imagine like being in that situation, being like, "Look, something happened, but we can't tell you." Like,
Right.
Jesus.
They have to be, like, strategic with their words and everything.
It's crazy. Like, imagine being that little girl in that situation, you know?
Yeah.
Contacting her from different numbers, sending pictures of my dad saying he's gonna kill them. He hasn't mentioned anything about me and my siblings yet, which is good. He's like, he posted something to a website, trying to recruit guys to like help him with whatever plan he's doing. He's like, how did you guys learn about that? He's contacting my mom through all of this. So my mom has contacted the police. She has like a whole bunch of people on the case. But the thing is, he's making it sound like she's helping him. And he's not. Helping him like try to kill your dad? Yeah. And so like we're afraid that the police are gonna turn on us. Okay. Okay. So she's been trying to protect herself.
Oh, that's what that last text
Daughter
message was
reveals
about.
Isn't just alarming, it's sickening. Because this so-called
That poor little girl.
isn't just threatening the family.
She like can't even go to the police. She feels like, you know?
Making it look like
Yeah.
Crystal was secretly working with him to kill Daniel.
Crazy.
Manipulating the kids into believing their own mother is dangerous while positioning Daniel as the helpless target who needs protection. To the kids, their mother starts to look untrustworthy. To detectives, Daniel starts to look like a victim, and to the stalker, everything is going exactly according to plan. It's a disturbing, genius level of premeditation, carried out by a man willing to use anyone.
So he
even
made it
his
seem
own
like she was
children.
contacting her
The
ex.
detective
Well,
logs this
he was
information
contacting her,
coordinates
and they
with
were
Crystal's
communicating
sister-in-law,
about
Kate,
killing
to get the children safely out
him.
of the school. Back at the crime scene, detectives continue their work. They canvass the neighborhood, speak with neighbors, and begin collecting every CCTV clip they can find to reconstruct the killer's movements. By this point, there's enough evidence tying Crystal's ex-boyfriend Anthony to months of harassment, allowing police to obtain a nationwide arrest warrant for stalking. Departments across the country are notified to be on the lookout for him. Additionally, with a homicide on their hands and a killer on the loose, investigators can escalate the case.
And then
issue
imagine being the
exigent circumstance
ex-boyfriend
warrants to-
not aware, like unaware of all of this.
Right? You're
And
just
then getting
getting
arrested, yeah.
getting it all blamed on you. Holy shit.
Service providers to finally speed up the digital data they've been waiting on. If Martinez received those files weeks earlier, things might have been very different. Meantime, Daniel, along with the rest of the family, is taken to the police station for formal interviews. At this stage, it's standard procedure, and investigators are simply looking to collect statements. But about 2 hours later, when detectives finally sit down with Daniel, his routine interview will begin to take a very different turn.
So, your home security system.
They're gonna bust his ass. Let's go!
Access that through first Google Nest. Google Nest. Okay. Home. I have your permission then to operate the stone and get what we need? Yeah. Okay. So how many different cameras do you have?
4. Side of the house, driveway, back door.
How long have you had it? For a couple years. The others, all since September.
We had an intruder. I called the police. He came when we had a garage intruder.
A month after Daniel reported the garage intruder back in September is when the stalking first began, and by then, the couple had already installed multiple cameras around the house, plus their Ring doorbell. But even with all that security, and after police confirmed they had no GPS trackers on their cars, the stalker still found a way to follow them, sending Crystal a photo of Daniel walking into work and texting her about seeing her at the dentist. So as the detective scrolls through the surveillance footage to understand the timeline, he notices something strange that catches Daniel off guard.
When do your cameras go off? Do you ever have them set to turn off?
24/7. They don't turn off. If you lose internet or in the app, you can turn them off.
Who has the ability to turn off cameras? Who has the ability to go in the app and turn these off?
Christine, me, and
It's alright. It's alright, Dan.
Weird.
home shows all 4.
Oh, perfect.
Home. I can settings.
Okay.
He's like overacting.
Yeah, he's overdoing it.
Just yes. Okay.
The detective's question here isn't by chance. It's prompted by something peculiar he noticed on the surveillance app. All of the home's cameras shut off at 8:15 a.m. and they stay off until 10:15 a.m. Only the camera pointed outside the garage remains active during that entire 2-hour window. This instantly
That's super
narrows
weird.
the murder time frame to those 2 hours.
Right, so that
Just
says
then,
it's not an
Martinez
internet thing.
Mm-mm.
Because they would all go off.
Mm-hmm.
finally arrives at the interview room. He's the lead detective who's been handling Crystal's stalking case for months, and now that case has become something far worse. He sits down with her devastated husband, feeling the weight of the loss they both couldn't prevent. They didn't save Crystal, they couldn't protect her, and now they're here, mourning her loss, trying to piece together what happened.
That's his favorite line. I was supposed to protect her. He's saying it the same way every time. It's like rehearsed.
I'm sorry I didn't answer. Actually listening today.
As Daniel breaks down, something catches Martinez's attention. Daniel is crying, but there are no tears. The detective finds it strange and more than a little concerning. Wanting to probe deeper, Martinez asks for a moment alone with Daniel to see what's really going on beneath the surface. And the moment he starts asking questions, things get heated. Fast.
I know you said that you don't think that there was somebody else. Why do you keep asking? I'm just trying to put everything together to kind of get a bigger picture, because you said you've been acting kind of weird lately, and being very secretive and forming information for you. So I'm just trying to understand, I guess, so we can backtrack. what she's been doing this past month.
Martinez's question here is telling of what he's thinking. He's not ruling out Daniel as a possible suspect. After all, the couple were going through a separation period, and this is meant to probe whether jealousy or something else could have played a role in Crystal's death. Sensing the tension in Daniel's response, the detective decides not to press any further. But as they step out for a quick break, Daniel says something that makes it obvious he struck a nerve.
I've seen enough movies. Always the husband. I get it.
After detectives collect the initial information from Daniel, his children finally arrive at the police department. They still don't know what happened to their mother, only that something is very, very...
So he was onto that shit. He was like, yep, they're on to me, I know. Seen enough movies. That's a weird statement, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like he recognizes that they're like pressing him about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a weird
Daniel
statement.
Is notified of their arrival and given a choice. Should he be the one to tell them, or leave it to officers and Crystal's family? Instead of letting someone else deliver the news, Daniel insists on telling them himself. A decision that appears compassionate on the surface, but underneath, it's a way for him to control the narrative and shape how his children see him, even in a moment of tragedy.
Jeez.
Investigators sit down
What a
with
slime
Crystal's
ball.
family to
What a slime ball, dude.
begin their interviews, and this is where things start to take a turn. Up until now, the case seems straightforward. Crystal has a stalker, her ex-boyfriend Anthony. That stalker killed her. Find Anthony, and you find Crystal's killer. But once detectives start speaking to Crystal's parents, brother, and sister-in-law, things become far more complicated. And what they learn next will force them to reconsider everything they think they know about Crystal, her marriage, and even her stalker.
So your understanding, I guess, of there is the ex-husband who's been kind of...
It's not about her husband, it's an ex-boyfriend. From when she was 18 years old.
Okay, gotcha. Can you think of any, I guess, recent, has he reached out to you? Have you seen any...
No, he's never contacted me.
Okay.
Listeners told me that he had messaged her again 2 days ago or so. Let her know that he was ready to come back and go ahead and offer her husband now. Make it look a little like she was in on this whole deal with killing her husband, I guess.
Do you think there's anything doesn't feel right, doesn't seem right?
Yeah, that makes no sense, but...
Something that...
Well, the text messages. Did you read them?
No, for sure, but I'm saying, like, it's just a crazy story that they're trying to paint, you know?
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Like, it's very weird.
He tried to make it seem like the ex was like, kill your husband and come have a three-way with me and my girlfriend.
Right.
Let me know when he dead. That's crazy.
Into our investigation. I don't know, like, I know that
To try to make her the bad guy.
Right.
Guy, and I just always felt like it was like there was something weird about it, like that I can't put my finger on it. It just feel like she had said that it was like this Anthony guy that it seemed very different than past behavior in him, like that he was never sexual in the past, and that these were like very like hypersexual things. And so I think even at one point she was like questioning whether it was actually him.
Hmm.
I don't know if you necessarily know anything more about that, but there's also just kind of, if you guys are kind of close, it just seemed to be some sort of insight on that at all.
Insight on their marriage.
Or just, was there issues going on? Were they having problems? Was there, kind of anything that was kind of...
She had shared with me that they had separated.
Okay.
But were still living together a year ago. And I had asked her if she, over text, if she had, that she believed that it was Anthony. But she didn't believe, at the time that I was asking her, that it was anybody but Anthony. She was fully convinced that it was Anthony.
Okay.
My mom has always been, like, suspicious, and I just, like, don't know where that comes from.
Okay.
Can you elaborate on that? Like, suspicious how, or...
Mama's got intuition. Huh.
Yeah, and they're like second questioning him to see like maybe it could have been her.
It's like the difficulty finding Anthony, like why it's so hard to find Anthony? Why can't there, it's their IP stuff. So my mom had that frustration, and so I think her mind starts to wander towards like conspiracy type things, right? Of like, oh, maybe it's the husband, or
Oh, mama, right. My gosh.
She was on point.
She was.
Mama Dukes.
Dan just seems incapable of doing something like that to me. Why do you see that? I don't know, I talked to him, and him and I just hung out and talked for like 2 hours. And he was like very concerned about like getting his family together and talking about being vigilant and not paranoid.
Even though Crystal's brother Lars sounds skeptical of his mother's suspicions, she isn't exactly wrong, as, on the surface, it makes no sense that Anthony couldn't be tracked down for months. Lars would also go on to explain that Crystal and Daniel saw their marriage very differently. Crystal wanted out, Daniel didn't, and the family seemed to view their relationship as dysfunctional, but not violent. But listening to these statements, one thing becomes very clear. Every
It's all coming together, huh?
family member felt that something about the stalker was off. There was a shared intuition they couldn't quite articulate. And when detectives sit down with Crystal's mother, she makes that suspicion very clear.
Mama Dukes!
Everyone on scene that she was married, had 3 children.
Oh, it's what love from last year. Her husband and her were not in good terms. He was in complete denial. She told me how he was.
Did she ever give you insight on what kind of led her to feel like her marriage was over? Or
He is explosive. But I've never seen him, hurt her. He would hurt the kids, but some people think corporal punishment is pay the kids. But he would hurt the kids. She was worried about that. I don't want to see his video. But she told me he was in denial, but she told him his marriage was over, but she would stay until graduated. With this, God, I can't shake him.
what's that feeling telling you?
I can't shake this question. Is he the one that's been doing this with Anthony?
Needless
Wow.
to say, hinting that Daniel might somehow be involved with the stalker is an alarming accusation, and it makes things even more complicated for the detectives. At this point, the family itself is split. Crystal's brother Lars completely dismisses the idea that Daniel could be involved, calling it nothing more than a conspiracy. But others felt that there was something off about Anthony and the entire stalking agenda.
Can you imagine, like, your mom was right and you're the brother and you're just like, nah, conspiracy, and then, like, how stupid would you feel after that?
All statements
Poor guy.
recorded, detectives wrap the family interviews and regroup to make sense of everything
You could
they
tell
gathered.
she's going off
By
like
combining
pure
everything they've
intuition
learned,
too.
Detectives land on a clearer
Because
picture
she's
of
even
where
like
the
questioning
investigation now
herself,
stands.
you know?
Right.
The family interviews
But she
raised
was on
enough
point the
concern
whole
Right,
time.
she's like, that doesn't make sense, but I just know it.
Detectives decide they can't rule out Daniel yet, and he officially becomes a potential suspect. But even with Daniel now on the radar, Anthony remains as the obvious prime suspect in Crystal's homicide. His threats and weeks-long stalking campaign still place him at the center of the investigation. With that in mind, detectives know their next move. It's time to find Anthony. At around 3 p.m.
Let's
that
go.
afternoon,
I've
police
been waiting
finally
for
get their
this.
first real break in months. After digging through everything they have on Anthony Holland, investigators land on a possible address in Utah. Because they can't reach him themselves, Broomfield detectives coordinate with Utah County Sheriff's Office, sharing his name, photo, and the address where he's believed to be staying. Up until now, Anthony has only existed as a name in emails and threats, a distant figure who no one has actually seen. So when officers finally get a hit on his location, it becomes the first real chance to confront the man they've been hunting for months.
I'm going to ask you a couple of names to see if you recognize any names. Have you ever heard of the name Crystal Krug?
Look how
She may have been a
clueless he
Graves
is.
rod on you.
What's that?
Look how clueless he is.
Who? Oh, her brother?
Anthony.
And you
Oh.
Krug?
They're interviewing Anthony right now?
How do you know Crystal?
She was an ex-girlfriend.
She's an ex-girlfriend. How long's the ex? Like, how long ago?
1999.
Oh, so like a long while ago.
She was my very first girlfriend ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When was the last time you talked to Crystal? Has it been a minute?
It's been a minute.
Like since you moved from Durango?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been what, back in 2014?
Yeah.
Have you had any contact with anybody in that area since? Anybody, or have they contacted you at any time?
No.
I'm going to give you a phone number. And it's to a sergeant with the Broomfield Police Department.
Yeah.
He would like you to reach out and talk to him.
Alright.
They have an incident. I don't know the full details of their incident out there. And so I'll let him talk to you about that aspect. He had asked us to come out here to your house and talk with you. They were debating on, you do have an active warrant out of Broomfield Police Department. And they were debating on if they were going to have us arrest you or not. They are not going to have us arrest you on it. I'm going to advise you of the fact that you do have a warrant out of Colorado. And you can talk to this sergeant about the details of it. Does that make sense?
As officers speak with Anthony, he appears in...
Interesting. So he's got a warrant, but they're not going to bust him right away, basically.
Yeah, because it's in a different county.
Well, not only that, but it feels like they're kind of taking it easy on him because they want to use him for the case. You know what I mean? So they're trying not to piss him off or
Look how
like.
confused he is, and he's.
Yeah, he's definitely faded. I noticed when he's like asking him questions, he's like kind of giving him the answer. You know, he's like, "When was the last time you saw her? Was it in 2014?" Yeah. Was it really, 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 really long time ago? Like real long time ago?
Well, he said 1999 initially. So
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's like filling out the information instead of being like, when's the last time you saw her?
Mm-hmm.
Letting him fill out the information, you know? I found that interesting. It seems like they're just trying
they already
to
know,
exactly, like they already have a conclusion. They're just trying to rail him into
they just have to
getting that on paper.
They just have to wean out all possibility.
Yeah.
After being briefed on the situation, he gives his timeline, insisting he never left Utah and spent the morning with family nowhere near Colorado. Once they collect Anthony's statement, Utah officers leave to begin verifying every part of his story. In the meantime, detectives back in Colorado regroup to reassess the investigation. With Anthony still denying involvement, Detective Martinez turns back to the one angle he hasn't fully explored yet: Crystal's husband, Daniel. Since he never ruled out jealousy or affairs as a possible motive, he decides to dig deeper into Daniel's past. And that's when he stumbles onto something interesting and very unsettling. While searching old reports, Martinez finds a closed but unresolved stalking complaint from years earlier. The victim who filed it is a woman named Carrie. And as it turns out, she was Daniel's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
The more Martinez reviews, the more disturbing the pattern becomes.
This is crazy.
The report claims she was stalked for weeks by an obsessed man who impersonated multiple people, manipulating her through fake identities.
Bum bum bum.
Detectives quickly locate
Busted, Daniel.
for an interview.
With your punk ass.
They uncover a story so disturbingly similar to Crystal's, it opens up an entirely new theory.
I think it was, like I said, a couple months I broke up with him a couple months into my freshman year. He, he was pretty emotional, I would say. Sort of desperation would maybe be a word I would use to describe after the breakup of, please don't do this, kind of, crying, that sort of thing. That I can recall. And then I started to get messages from his roommate, and that person's name is Tom, on AOL Instant Messenger. And I know Tom is real because they were roommates. If I called him, Tom would sometimes pick up the phone. They just had a joint room and a joint phone. Tom, his role, I would say, was sort of to gain sympathy from me for Dan and continue to encourage me to communicate with Dan. There was perhaps some indication that he was, or was, because of the breakup, just really not doing well. So this, made me keep communication up with Dan. And Tom ended up being Dan, right? So all these people I'm going to tell you about end up being Dan Krug, not Tom. Yeah, even though Tom is a real person, he was not sending me these messages.
Suffice it to say,
That's even crazier too, right? Like, it's not like he invented his own people. He just like stole identities of people in their own life and then acted as them. That's
Right,
fucking
who
crazy.
can be asked about it, and
It's low-key genius, except it's evil. It's like
Yeah.
the evil genius, you know?
It's stupid because you could just go ask Tom, which she probably did. Like, hey man, have you been?
Well, that's the
messaging
genius
me?
part about it, right? Is like, how did he get that far without like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, he manipulated the whole situation enough to pull it off, meaning that like she never even questioned it, basically.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Like, that's social manipulation to like the highest degree. What do they call it? Social programming, social engineering. That's what I'm looking for. Crazy.
but Carrie tells
That's scary as
detectives
hell.
sounds all too familiar. Everything she describes echoes the same pattern detectives have been seeing.
Like, it just makes you wonder what sick shit people are up to, you know? It's like, how many people like this never got caught? You know?
Mm-hmm.
That'll help you sleep at night, right?
But the parallels don't stop there.
Things I remember is a group of my friends from our dorm had met, I don't even know how, some cadets from the Air Force Academy. And so we all went to, I think we went to a movie, something super innocuous, and there was like a group of us. I must have told Dan about that. And I think it was 2 or 3 days later, I got a message from someone named Nick Clark. And Nick basically said, I'm a cadet at the Air Force Academy. I know you went out with these people, and I want you to know that he came back, or these people came back and said that you slept with them. So now there's this rumor going around the whole academy that you're an easy target kind of thing. And Nick, I think, served the purpose of sabotaging anyone I was meeting if they were associated with the Air Force Academy. Of course, the person that I met and went to the movies with was like, I want nothing to do with you, you weirdo. So shortly, I don't know, a while after that, I started actually more seriously dating Air Force cadet named Mark Hansen. Then, of course, Nick Clark made a reappearance, and I was getting pretty consistent messages from him. And so he said, we need to find out who's doing this. And he got me a meeting with the Office of Special Investigations at the Air Force Academy. I sat with them, and they kind of laid the emails out on the table, and they said, we've had like a forensic psychologist, sort of professional, look at all these emails, and it's Dan, is what they said.
Harry would go on to explain that despite their
That's crazy. So they got a whole like team of Air Force engineers to basically like psychologically analyze Dan, and they're like, oh yeah, it's Dan 100%. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Where were those guys at? You know? Come on.
You have to
there
have
was
the
never
plug.
enough evidence
I guess so.
tying Daniel back to the messages she received then. Everything had been sent from a public library, and because of that, her accusations remained just that. Suspicions. But even without proof, the similarities between the two women's experiences are impossible to ignore. And for the first time, detectives begin considering a fourth possibility they never imagined. What if Daniel has been playing everyone? What if he's been impersonating Anthony? What if he's always been the architect behind the entire stalking campaign? Detective Martinez receives the intel from Carrie's interview, and with that, Daniel officially becomes an equal prime suspect alongside Anthony. At this point, the only thing that can give them a definitive answer is the digital evidence. So while they wait for that, Martinez receives something he can work with immediately. The full set of surveillance footage collected from the neighborhood and Daniel's workplace. Investigators sit down and begin reconstructing the full picture of what happened before Crystal was killed. Shortly before 8 a.m., Crystal arrives home after dropping off the kids. She pulls into the garage, closes the door, and everything looks normal. Minutes later, at 8:15 a.m., the entire security system goes offline. Every camera except the outside garage
Way too premeditated. No way. No way.
camera is taken down
That
for
alone
the next 2 hours. At 8:25
screams that it's him.
a.m., that lone camera records something deeply concerning. Daniel leaves the house to go to work, later than he normally does, and shortly after the time medical examiners believe Crystal was killed. From there, workplace footage shows Daniel moving through the building around 9 a.m., greeting coworkers and appearing completely normal, as if nothing had happened at home. And when investigators check footage from surrounding houses, they find no one approaching the property all morning. Everything about the timeline makes Daniel look more suspicious by the minute. With all these new developments, detectives bring Daniel back in for another
So it's not
interview.
even like he left and
Relaxing,
came back, he
expecting
was just
routine
there the whole
procedural
time.
follow-ups, completely unaware of how much has changed.
What do you mean?
Because I thought maybe he went to work to make it look like he had an alibi and then came, like, snuck home. But no, he was just there and went into work late.
Yeah.
Like an idiot.
Yep, agreed. I thought the same thing.
Last time he sat in this room, this is when Daniel's months-long, carefully crafted plan begins to crumble.
Because it's like
This
you'd think
time,
he'd go
Detective
to work
Martinez
or
walks
whatever,
in
or
with a
like make
completely
it seem like
different
he's going to
energy than
work,
before.
park
He's no longer
far
feeling
away,
Daniel
maybe
out.
walk or
He's here
something.
Mm-hmm.
with one
But
clear
he was just
objective.
there the whole time.
Confront him with what's been uncovered and see if his version of events finally breaks.
How you feeling right now? Just kind of about everything.
No.
Um,
I have two different voices going through my head right now. I have Matthew, yeah, I've mentioned him. He's sheriff's lieutenant. And I have his voice saying, talk to the police. Typical cop fashion, you married a prosecutor. So I have Lynn's voice in my head going, you're a fucking lawyer. I just realized, I don't want. I just don't want.
Right away, Daniel doesn't open the interview casually. He opens it with a
Yeah, that was a weird sentence.
calculated trick. By hinting at getting a lawyer, he's warning detectives, push too hard, and this interview is over. It's clever, but Martinez has a counter plan. Instead of confronting him, he'll pivot the conversation to his relationship with Crystal, making it feel like safer ground to get Daniel comfortable and talking. But if Daniel had any motive to take Crystal out of the picture, this is where it would surface.
Well, I'm sure, especially if you guys are trying to work together to be safe, keep your family safe, keep your... As dysfunctional as it is, you still both have the common goal of keeping it safe, right?
Had her as a partner to protect the family, but it didn't feel like a partner who valued me. And I told her at that point, I told her I didn't want to die for someone who didn't care about me anymore.
That's really hard.
I was hurting when I said that, and what I wanted was her to say she cared about me. She didn't.
Although Daniel is being honest about
So
what
I
was going
killed
on
her
in their
ass.
marriage,
So I fucking killed her ass. What a psycho.
this only
What a
adds to
psycho,
their
dude.
suspicions. Resentment, rejection, a failing marriage. These are all things that, in the wrong circumstances, can turn into a motive. And this is exactly where the interview takes a sharp turn. What Daniel doesn't know yet is that since his last interview, detectives received something they kept secret for this exact moment. One of the tech companies finally responded to their urgent warrants and provided some of the digital data they needed. And as it turns out, the emails the stalker had been sending, the messages that terrorized Crystal for weeks, were coming from somewhere much closer to home.
One of the things that we really started looking at...
Was he using some type of like email anonymizer thing and they snitched on him? Because that's gangster. Good for them.
An effort to find Anthony. The Gmail... So some of that information that we've been able to receive today is...
It all came from his work, I bet.
Gmail account, the Kickman account that you guys initially received with the photo You in it? And the phone number, those originated through their IP addresses at your office.
Yup. Called it.
Those are my chemicals. Well, he took the photo of me at my office.
Both of those accounts originated from IP addresses that was back to your office.
There are Wi-Fi access throughout the facility for employees, and there's public Wi-Fi access throughout the entire facility.
Right now, we're working with the director to get all of the IP information to see what devices were using that specific address during that time. Because I guess the biggest concern is just the timing of everything, that it just doesn't
Busted!
have somebody create an account, take a photo, and then immediately send it off, and then the account is no longer being used.
None of this makes any sense.
Daniel looks thrown off, unsure where Martinez is going with this. The emails tied to the stalker connect back to Daniel's workplace, a detail he clearly didn't expect detectives to know. He seems nervous, but still cooperative. So detectives decide it's time to push further, because they have something else they withheld from
But
Daniel
wait, there's
until
more.
now. During the investigation into Anthony's alibi, officers in Utah forwarded something small but important. A time-stamped shopping receipt placing Anthony in Utah that morning, miles away from Colorado at the time Crystal was killed.
Busted.
Decide it's the perfect time to see how Daniel reacts when they push him
Yeah,
directly
exactly. Like
and
he
force
acts
him
like
to
they weren't gonna
confront the
contact Anthony.
possibility that he might be the stalker.
Also, let's add on top of that the fact that there's, as far as we know right now, there's no physical way that Kidman could have been involved in this based on where he's at right now. So, you know, the mystery continues, and
Things are certainly pointing in one direction right now.
well, and you've given us reason. Here's the other thing, Daniel, is I sympathize with the fact that you're in an extremely frustrating situation. I know you want to be part of your kids' lives, but you can also sense that's why you're asking all these questions about infidelity and everything else. Is there some other mystery man that we don't know about?
I have been faithful. Period.
You know, Anthony has reached out to her in the past, a number of times.
Yep.
Right. The last time was 2016-ish. He had asked her at one point if she wanted to have some kids. If there's any bit of question about infidelity, whether it's with Anthony or anybody else, we might create an account to see if Christine's actually interested in Anthony. So we asked her to push the bounds a little bit. See if that will confirm our suspicions.
So it's like they're trying to like give him permission to admit that he did that shit.
Infidelity.
Yeah.
You don't get the response and the openness you once did for about 28 days, from October 2nd to October 31st, to amp it up a little bit. Send a photo of yourself to her, an account you created.
I get and marry together, but if it alleges that I do this,
I think ultimately what happened today would bring you the closest to your children that you've probably ever been. In your mind,
I'm very close to my children.
You're afraid to lose time with them if you get the divorce.
Clearly, detectives managed to perfectly articulate Daniel's reality, one he may not have even fully admitted to himself. He is a man so terrified of losing his children, so desperate to stay in control of his family, that he would do anything if he felt it slipping away, even if it meant murder. The detective's brutal honesty leaves Daniel speechless. He doesn't argue or deny it. He just sits there in quiet resignation, wearing the look of someone who's realizing everyone can see straight through his lies.
if you were watching these facts unfold in front of you in a movie, what would you say happened? Was able to turn off the cameras, that was able to use your IP address from your work to create accounts, to send messages and photos, to act as a stalking suspect.
I know about one who does this. I'm analytical at work, and I read and write fiction at home. I don't do crime drama. I don't know what any of this is.
Kickman is 6.5-hour drive. And in fact, he was...
Can you imagine if he actually didn't do it? I'm pretty sure he did it, but like, just for argument's sake, imagine like somebody actually did just set him up.
Right.
Contacted in his house, severely intoxicated. No way he could have made that drive.
All this time, you've been looking for him. The protection. And you just found him. Today, like that.
Chasing the dog.
Sounds like you're accusing me.
A lot of information that points your direction, and we were hoping that you could provide an explanation other than it wasn't me.
I don't have a narrative story that I can offer you, because I thought we were on the same side.
What would you think, or what would you say if we told you that other people you talked to that are close to your wife expressed that she had told them that she suspected you of having...
She said that right to my face, that she wanted to know if it was me. I told her no.
But I think there's more to the story. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not adding up. I'd like to know what happened this morning. I'd like to know what caused you to get so upset to your wife, because I believe that's what happened.
Well, I'd love to know what happened.
We haven't been there to know. There's only one person in this room that can tell us.
I think you got confirmation or found out that she had a boyfriend this morning, or something happened that pissed you off, and you did something that you regret now because you can't go back.
All of your questions that I get. You have your theory. Find the right one. You're done.
As calm as he's been this entire interview, Daniel finally decides he's had enough and drops the act. His story has crumbled. Detectives see straight through his lies, and he knows it. With nothing left to cling to, Daniel quietly asks for an attorney, and the interview comes to an end. Even though he continues insisting he's innocent, there's one detail Daniel admits on his own. One no one even knew about until now. Crystal herself confronted him about being the stalker.
Well, look.
Hearing that from Daniel's
He's on the
own
same
mouth
couch she
hits
was.
Martinez hard, because to him,
That's
that
crazy.
seems like the kind of confrontation that could have pushed everything over the edge. But without hard proof, detectives can't yet say Daniel is truly responsible. So with the interview over, Daniel is processed for physical evidence and escorted out of the police station. But before he leaves, he turns back and tells detectives one final thing.
I won't be allowed to do this. Because I pass. You don't believe that? Why? Just don't stop looking. I swear. Do something. Find the fucker. Are you married? Yes, divorce. Right on it. I don't care if you capture him. I just motherfucker took my children's mother for Christmas.
Over the next 2 days, the case
Sickening.
becomes the department's top priority. Every available officer is
Yeah. He's a good actor, dude. That's the creepiest part, is like, you almost believe him, you know?
This is when the investigation
Ooh.
finally begins to break wide open. Officers in
I wonder if he's gonna admit it, or if he's just gonna keep talking shit.
finally finish verifying Anthony's alibi. They find surveillance footage showing him in Utah at the time of Crystal's murder, and there are no travel records or license plate pings placing him anywhere near Colorado. Then, the last of the digital evidence arrives, and this time, it's overwhelming. The burner phones used to send the threatening messages to Crystal were purchased with a Visa gift card registered under Daniel Krug's name.
Wow.
Some records show those burner phones
Stupid
were always in the
motherfucker.
same location as Daniel's personal phone, meaning he was carrying both devices at the same time. And then comes
What an idiot.
the final blow. Detectives uncovered Daniel's Google searches from the night before the murder. How hard would you have to hit someone in the head to make them unconscious?
Oh my
Why
gosh.
is a head injury a cause for concern?
How dumb
Piece
can
by
he
piece,
be?
the picture comes together.
For someone
There's
so
no Anthony,
calculated,
there's no
like,
mysterious
this guy's a
stalker.
freaking
It's
idiot.
always been just Daniel. Detectives now understand.
I'm glad, because I want that fucker to get caught and go to jail. It's fucking crazy.
In a twisted attempt to regain control of his failing marriage, and when Crystal began to
Bye-bye,
suspect the
Daniel.
truth,
Bye-bye, Daniel.
to cover it up.
Rest in
On
peace,
December
Crystal.
16th, an arrest warrant is issued
Right.
for Daniel Krug. Officers are dispatched immediately, finding him on his way to his daughter's dance performance. As patrol units close in, Daniel's movements strike them as suspicious.
Poor
He appears
kids.
to be heading back towards
Yeah.
his car, and officers believe he may be trying to get away.
This is a detective. Alright, we're coming up in front. Just get up and bump back. No, fuck. Go, 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 go. Just go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Shut your hands.
Get his ass.
Wow. Keep your hands on your face. I haven't heard that one before. It's interesting.
Right? Yeah, same.
I've heard like hands on your head,
Daniel Krug is taken into
hands
custody
on the
without
steering wheel.
incident. In the weeks that follow, police finish their work. The digital forensic evidence, the surveillance timeline, the phone data, all of it leads back to the same person. Investigators become certain that Daniel Krug acted alone. He created a fake stalker, framed an ex-boyfriend, manipulated his wife, his children, and law enforcement. Before the case reaches trial, Daniel formally pleads not guilty. In April of 2025, his case moves into the courtroom. The story prosecutors present is devastatingly clear.
This was about Dan losing control. Not in love with Christelle, and that resentment had turned to rage by the time we get to December 14th. Think about what he did to her. You don't do that to somebody you love. Think about the absolute nightmare and hell that he made the last few months of her life.
On the other hand,
Straight
Daniel's
up,
defense
dude.
argues that there was no physical evidence placing him at the crime scene and that he could not have been the killer.
We know the physical evidence. And there is an enormous disconnect between that and the circumstantial picture the prosecution wants you to believe. Mr. Krug did not kill his wife. He did not commit these crimes.
He doesn't even
After
look like
both sides
he's
make
convinced.
their case, the jury deliberates for nearly 2 days. And on April 17th, 2025, they return with their verdict.
We, the jury, find
Wow,
the
so this
defendant
was recent.
guilty of murder in the first degree.
Daniel is found guilty of first-degree murder, stalking, and
You never know, right? He knows and God knows, right? But I feel like he did that shit. You know?
criminal impersonation. He is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, gang. And that was our first time streaming true crime without getting copyright claimed. So hope you enjoyed it, and let us know what you want to react to next. Peace out. Say peace, Danny.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.